are born in other places with the same set of skills, but they don't take them anywhere. So I think it's a pretty stripped down, great approach. They have a firm belief that science and technology and learning can make great advances in some of the world's biggest problems, and so that's sort of a general focus. And they also have a far more strategic sort of mindset, I would say, than I find in a lot of places, where they're really quite willing to look at a very narrow set of problems and look at what the key barriers and the key pressure points might be to break through on those very big problems. And so they're quite strategic, I would say, in their general focus. And that's attractive to me. So just kind of a slide that has a list of sorts of areas. Many of you, of course, have seen the Gates Foundation in the news, particularly around the health initiatives. They've decided to work on the set of diseases that kill the most people and are preventable. And you see that on the left-hand side. You can see that there's a fairly strong program in the U.S. This has been going on for quite some time. Remember the big initiative to connect libraries, and there's a big education initiative. And then the Global Development Program is only about a year and a half old. It's just really getting started. And it has, I'd say, three really big programs, which are agricultural productivity, financial services for the poor, and global libraries. Global libraries are a little smaller. Then there's the special initiatives. Some of you might have heard of some water sanitation hygiene efforts, and that may or may not become another program. And that's it. That's going to be the architecture of the kind of programs that the foundation does for the foreseeable future. So on to kind of financial services. We started by taking a look at the universe. We thought that this might be a kind of strategic way to go about things. And so we went through this exercise. You probably can't see it terribly well, and it doesn't really matter, because the point is that we're starting with the universe. We're not starting with micro-entrepreneurs. We're not starting with small farmers. We're not talking about women in India. We're saying, what is a universe of people out there who would potentially use financial services, for whom access to financial services could be a fairly important product, have a meaningful impact. So we kind of went through this little exercise. I'm going to show you a little bit of it now to sort of figure out the universe and figure out what the universe might like, as opposed to starting, as many of us have done over the years, with a particular subset of people that we're actually very interested in. Because microcredit, microfinance, has been a tool, right, for all sorts of people, for all sorts of purposes, and legitimately so. It's a great tool. But we at the foundation have taken a step back and said, okay, if we're taking a financial services or a financial access perspective, what's the broadest place to start? So we started with the universe. You can see that if you can make anything out at all up there, you can see that the poor are concentrated in the biggest countries in Asia, and that just is sort of a map of the different countries where the under $2 a day people are living. Okay, and there's 2.6 billion people on under $2 a day. You all know that sort of stuff. Then what we did is we said, okay, how can we figure out anything about this universe that's useful? Because it's kind of hard, we all struggle with this every time we write a proposal for somebody. Who's our universe? Who are we talking about? What are characteristics that are useful for understanding the universe? And what we decided, after much struggle, which you're all, you're aware, you've done this sort of thing, is we said, let's take a livelihood approach. Let's see what the numbers tell